Welcome back guys, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. My name is Spartan, and in this video I'll be covering 10 things everyone needs to know before jumping into PvP. So let's get right into it. First off, stats and gear score. While gear score in Ghost War technically doesn't matter, perks, rarity, and stats do. The rarity of the gear you can get is what decides how much of a stats boost you get on each piece, yellow being the best. Luckily, you only need to pass the 90 to 120 gear score mark to start getting yellow gear more frequently. And once you pass 150, you should absolutely jump in and run through the raid a couple times because there's a bunch of amazing gear in there for PvP, like the Judge Pants, the Pioneer Chest and Gloves, the Architect Vest, and so on. These pieces have amazing combinations no other armor can roll with, so definitely worth getting. Now when it comes to the weapon stats you should focus on, I would definitely look for accuracy and handling and mobility. And regarding your armor stats, I recommend you focus on the stamina stats, movement speed, handling and accuracy, and another notable stat would be the technique cooldown because it's what helps you get your special abilities faster. Perks. There's a good amount of perks in this game, but only a few is really worth using in Ghost War. Some can be used in special builds, but generally people just use a handful of them. So two perks that everyone should have on at all times is Burst Forth and Ballistic Advantage. Burst Forth gives you a straight up boost to movement speed and stamina regen, which is going to make you faster and more efficient when trying to cover large stretches on the different maps and move it around. And Ballistic Advantage just makes every gun you use better. They get plus 60 more range and plus 30 handling. Some good perks to run in the third slot would be Gunslinger, Close and Personal, Revivalist, Quick Hands, and some other notable perks would be Sacrifice, Explosive Expert, and Severe Wounds. Next up, Suppressors. Do not use Suppressors unless you're a Panther with an SMG. Suppressors in PvP on any other class or guns reduce your damage by 20% and does not take away your sound markers, so it won't hide your location when you're shooting. Just use a flash hider muzzle instead, because those reduce your bullet spread, making it easier to beam people across the map. Decreasing recoil. Regardless of what weapon you use, put on the highest magazine possible. It reduces recoil drastically, which I'll be covering more extensively in the weapon breakdown video, but let me show you a quick example. So this is the recoil pattern of the 4AC with a 30 round magazine. And this is the recoil pattern with 30 rounds with a 100 round magazine. Note that this is without me trying to control recoil at all. Running. If you're going anywhere in a PvP match, you run. Don't just walk, don't crouch walk, do not go prone. That will get you killed more times than not. The only time you should walk is if you're about to run out of stamina and you need to regen. But even then, you should be in a safe location or behind cover. This is why a key part of movement in this game is weaving in between pieces of cover wherever you're going, if possible. Circling. I know this is a bit of a controversial topic for some, but circling lets you be in the open so you can see more of what's going on around you while still decreasing the chance of you getting killed if someone tries to shoot at you. All you do is look in a direction with your right stick and spin your left stick around in a circle. This is possible because of the 360-degree camera view that we have in this game. I'm unsure if circling works on PC, unfortunately. I do know that strafing still works, which we'll cover in the advanced movement video later on. Also, throw in some circles here and there when you are crossing the road or crossing an open area to make yourself hard to hit. Next up is heals. Your first priority when the match starts is to get some heals, which you can find on the way from spawn and further into the map via a couple routes. Every single map has at least one stack of resources at the beginning of each route, with a total of 4 to 6 routes on both sides of every map. You really don't want to survive a fight only to not have enough health for the next one, which is why you always want to have at least one syringe with you at all times. Now, I'll be diving more into all the paths and angles and advantage points and the 16 resource locations on each map in the map breakdown video, so stay tuned for those. Alright, next up, communication. Intel is key in this game, so use your pings. If you see an enemy, ping them, because that can be quite vital information for your team. If you're playing in a squad especially, callouts are going to be crucial. A few good callouts can be the difference between a win and a loss. I'll be covering the more map-specific callouts in the map videos. Map awareness. Frequently take a look at your minimap and keep an eye out for yellow sound markers. These sound markers show the location of your enemies when they're firing their weapons. Another quick addition to the map awareness point: on most maps, when reaching the 1 minute and 20-second mark, you should start watching your back, since at that point people might have flanked around you if they're quick. And lastly, improvement. PvP in this game can at times be fast and unforgiving, so you gotta be able to reflect on your own performance for improvement to be possible. Once you start getting the hang of it though, it becomes so much more fun. I always say that there are 3.5 reasons to why we die or lose in this game. 1, we mess up. 2, we get unlucky. Or 3, we get outplayed. And the half point is everything else, like lag and player sync and all that jazz. The reason it's a half point is because it doesn't happen nearly as often as people make it out to be. So when you die or lose, try to look back at what happened and ask yourself, was I too much in the open? Did I peek the same corner twice? Was I standing still or in the same position for too long? And if you do this consistently and correct your mistakes, then you'll improve in no time. Okay, so to sum it all up. 1. Stats and gear score. Gear score technically doesn't matter in Ghost War, but perks, rarity, and stats do. So your weapon roll should be handling and accuracy, or handling and mobility. Your gear should focus on stamina, movement speed, then handling, and technique cooldown. 2. Perks. Always run the Burst Forth and Ballistic Advantage perks. 3. Suppressors. Don't use a suppressor unless you're a Panther with an SMG. 4. Decreasing recoil. Always use the highest magazine size possible for less recoil. 5. Run. If you're going anywhere in a PvP match, run. Don't just walk, don't crouch walk, and do not go prone. That will get you killed more times than not. 6. Circling. Throw in some circles here and there to make yourself harder to hit when in the open. 7. Heals. First priority when spawning into a match is to get heals, then you can move on to your intended route. 8. Communication. If you see an enemy, ping it. Show your teammates a point of interest. Intel is key in this. 9. Map awareness. Pay attention to your minimap. Look for yellow sound markers, which are great indicators to enemy locations. And 10. Improvement. Fail, reflect, improve, and practice. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope some of this was helpful. This video was mostly aimed at newer players, so for the more experienced ones, I will be making more detailed breakdowns of some of the topics mentioned here today, plus a lot others like map breakdowns, playstyle videos, weapon reviews, advanced movement guides, tactic breakdowns, situational breakdowns, and much more. So stay tuned for those. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, and if you're not yet subscribed, smack that one too. And to not miss any uploads, turn on notifications. And again, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. See you next time.